And one of the challenges associated with taking my son from being a high school basketball player into now the next level was figuring out a way to get his name out there. Unless your player, your son, your daughter is a top prospect, a D1 player, getting the exposure and the visibility at the number of colleges that are out there is probably the biggest challenge, and the thing that is the most overwhelming when you start the process. We started late. I think the biggest thing is to realize that if you're in your junior year and you're not addressing this or looking at ways of doing this, it's overcomable, but you're already a little bit behind and you have to make up some lost ground. And the question is, how do you do that? I think the second thing that I learned is that AAU basketball, while a great tool to use to make, in this case, make my son a better player, again, he was not going to be a D1 prospect, and AAU basketball alone was not getting him or going to get him the visibility needed at the college level to get colleges to take note. So working through this whole process, how do we get from point A to point B to connect those gaps? And CollegePrep provided the tools for us that from a starting point, it seems very obvious. I'm not a marketing major, I'm not a marketing person, but you're marketing your child. That's what you're doing. And that's what CollegePrep really does. It gives you the tools to get his or her name out there at the widest market. On the backside of this plan right now, we're looking at 4 or 5 schools, and of those, none of those schools would have made any sort of list on the front side as far as a potential place where Jared could have played basketball or would have considered it. It just wasn't known. The CollegePrep process again is lays out that plan to identify schools that meet your needs, whether that's size, whether that's curriculum, whether that's various aspects. It allows you to take a wide pool of schools to reach out to them, that then in turn takes schools from 80 to 100 down to 20 that you're talking to, down to 10 that are interested, down to 5 at the end of the day that you're really looking at, and they're really looking back at you and they want your son or daughter to play. I think the things to remember again as you go through this is you can't start early enough. You have to be patient. Understanding how the NCAA recruiting process works, in addition to that, you almost have to realize this, like I said up front, you're marketing your son or daughter, and it's a full-time job, and you have to approach it as that if you want to get your son or daughter to play at the next level.